Folsom looks almost perfect on paper. Beautiful neighborhoods, highly sought after schools, trails everywhere, shopping, of course, restaurants, and Lake Natoma. And easy access to Highway 50, but before you decide that Folsom is where you want to live, there are a few things that actually might surprise you, especially when it comes to home prices, traffic, and just how different one part of Folsom can feel from another. And stay with me till the end, because later in this video, I'm going to tell you one thing I think buyers overlook most when they fall in love with Folsom. If you're thinking about moving to Folsom or anywhere in the Sacramento area, subscribe to the channel because every week we show you what it's actually like to live in these communities. Not just the good things, but also the things that you should really know before you buy. And if you're planning on a move, scan the QR code on the screen for our free buyer's guide. I'm Tasha with the TNT team of TNT VRE, and along with my partner Tony, we help buyers and sellers throughout the Sacramento region, whether you're buying in 6 months or 16 months. We're here to help you make the process much easier. So why does Folsom get so much attention? Why does it continue to attract so many buyers? Part of it is simply the lifestyle. Folsom gives you a suburban environment without feeling completely disconnected from things to do. You have established neighborhoods, you have newer communities, you have shopping, restaurants, tons of parks and trails, and recreation, all within a relatively compact area. The city estimates its population at roughly 95,600-ish residents, according to the 2026 poll. So this isn't a tiny suburb anymore. Folsom has grown into a significant community of its own. And one of the things I personally like about Folsom is that it doesn't feel exactly the same everywhere you go. Historic Folsom has a completely different personality from the newer section of town. You'll find restaurants, pubs, coffee shops, boutiques, and historic buildings there, while other parts of Folsom have newer shopping and more traditional suburban feel to the neighborhood. So if somebody tells me, I want to live in Folsom, my next question is, what kind of Folsom do you want? Because that makes a big difference. Now, here's one of Folsom's biggest advantages. If you enjoy being outside, Folsom gives you an options that a lot of Sacramento suburbs simply don't have in the same concentrated area. You've got Lake Natoma nearby, miles of trails and terrain across the American River Parkway system. There's cycling, kayaking, walking, running, and plenty of parks. The city itself actively promotes parks, recreation, classes, camps, and community activities, while local attractions include Lake Natoma, the Johnny Cash Trail, and historic Folsom. And this isn't something that you have to drive 2 hours to enjoy. You're not driving all the way to Tahoe. For many Folsom residents, it's part of their everyday life. You can finish work, get on a trail, go for a bike ride, or head toward the lake without turning it into an all-day excursion. But here's where we get to the first catch. Okay, catch number one. Folsom is not cheap. Folsom is not what I would call an inexpensive suburb. Recent Redfin data covering the 3 months ending in May 2026 showed a median sale price of roughly $740,000 in Folsom. By comparison, Sacramento itself was roughly $500,000 during the same period. Now, that's a pretty substantial difference. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that every single house in Folsom costs $740,000, but you'll find homes above that, you'll find homes below that, depending on what the neighborhood is, the size of the house, the age of the house, the lot, of course, the condition of the house, and the amenities. But it tells you something important. You're generally paying a premium to live here. And that this is where buyers sometimes make a mistake. They decide they want Folsom before determining which part of Folsom actually fits their budget. You may be comparing older established neighborhood with mature landscaping to a newer neighborhood with different taxes, HOA costs, or other expenses. So don't compare homes strictly by price. Compare the total monthly cost of ownership. And remember that phrase, because I'm coming back to it. Now, not all neighborhoods in Folsom are the same. This is probably the part of the video I would pay the most attention to if you're relocating here. You've got areas such as Broadstone, Empire Ranch, the established neighborhoods closer to central Folsom, and then the rapidly developing areas south of Highway 50, commonly associated with Folsom Ranch. And they don't all offer the same experience, obviously. Some buyers want mature trees and established neighborhood. Other buyers want to walk into a new home and immediately fall in love with the floor plan or the energy efficiency and the modern finishes. Neither choice is automatically better. It depends on what matters to you. Do you want to be close to historic Folsom? Or do you want new construction? Do you want a larger lot? Or do you want to be close to trails? How much driving are you comfortable doing for, say, restaurants or shopping or your job? How far is your work away? What's that commute going to look like? Those are the questions that matter much more than simply saying, I want to live in Folsom. Okay, moving on to schools. Schools are another major reason buyers ask us about Folsom. Much of the area is served by the Folsom-Cordova Unified School District, which operates schools throughout Folsom and Rancho Cordova. But I always want to give you the same warning we give our own clients. Always. Always check the address for that specific school you want to go in. Never buy a house based solely on what the real estate website says about the assigned schooling. School boundaries can change. Programs can change. And ratings don't tell you everything about whether a particular school will be right for your child. So do your homework. Before making an offer, verify the assigned school district directly with that school district. Like what school you will be going from that address. And then research the individual campuses yourself. It's much safer than assuming the school listed on the third-party website is correct. Okay, now let's talk about something people sometimes underestimate about Folsom. You don't necessarily have to leave town every time you want to go somewhere. You've got plenty of shopping and dining around the Palladio and other commercial areas, plus a completely different experience in historic Folsom also. Historic Folsom itself gives you that walk-around atmosphere. It's got local shops, restaurants, pubs, wineries, and coffee shops. That doesn't make Folsom a major nightlife destination like, say, downtown Sacramento or Midtown, because it's not. If you're looking for that type of atmosphere, clubs or big city nightlife, bars open till 2 a.m. every weekend, Folsom probably isn't going to replace Midtown or downtown Sacramento. But if your idea of going out to dinner, drinks, live entertainment, and walking around historic Folsom, or say meeting friends somewhere close to home, you've got plenty of choices. And for a lot of buyers, that's exactly what they want. All right, catch number 2. Here's the second catch. Don't look at Folsom on a map and assume your commute will always be easy. Highway 50 is your major connection towards Sacramento, and the commute conditions can vary tremendously depending on where you live and where you work, and of course what time of day you're actually doing the driving between those two places. This is why Tony and I always tell buyers relocating to this area, test the drive yourself. Don't test it on a Sunday morning when there's no traffic. If you're going to commute on Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning, drive it. Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning. That's the commute. That's what you're buying. You're going to be doing this 5 days a week. You want to make sure that you can handle it. You don't want to get into your new house and in 6 months say, I can't do this anymore. And if you work from home most of the week, then Folsom becomes a very different proposition. It might be for somebody making that drive 5 days a week, and you don't have to, then you have no issues, right? Now let me get to the one thing that I told you at the beginning that I think buyers overlook. It's not the home price. It's the monthly payment after everything is included. Remember when I said that? Remember that phrase? A buyer walks into a beautiful newer home and says, we can afford this price. Maybe. But what's the property tax? Are there additional assessments? Is there an HOA? What are your insurance costs? And what will the utilities look like? How does it compare with an older home in another part of Folsom? I mean, 2 homes with similar purchase prices can produce very different monthly costs. If an older home doesn't have an HOA, but the newer home does, they cost the same. You're going to be paying more because of that HOA. So that's why I would never just choose between 2 Folsom houses based purely on the list price. Tony and I would rather help you calculate what you're actually going to be paying month after month. That's the number that affects your lifestyle after you move in. Okay, so who should and shouldn't live in Folsom? So who do I think Folsom works really well for? Well, if you want suburban lifestyle, outdoor recreation, established and newer neighborhoods, strong access to shopping and dining, and you're comfortable paying a premium compared to some of the surrounding communities, then Folsom deserves to be high on your list. But if your number one priority is getting the largest possible house for the lowest possible price, I would definitely compare Folsom with communities such as Rancho Cordova or Citrus Heights, or even parts of Elk Grove and other Sacramento suburbs before deciding. And if nightlife is big on your priority list and you want that urban feel, then you may prefer being closer to downtown or say Midtown. Folsom isn't trying to be downtown Sacramento, and that's exactly why so many people like it. So, is living in Folsom, California worth it? For the right buyer, absolutely. But don't choose Folsom simply because you've heard it's a great place to live. Choose the part of Folsom that matches your budget, your commute, and your lifestyle. And if you're considering moving to Folsom or anywhere else in the Sacramento area, call, text, or email Tony or myself. Whether you're buying in 6 months or 16 months, we're here to help make the process easier. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for our free Sacramento Buyer's Guide. And also hit the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. If there's another Sacramento area community you want us to break down next, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Tasha with the TNT team of TNT VRE, and we'll see you in the next one.